found us. More podcast, where we want you to know God more deeply, find lasting freedom, discover your destiny and make an eternal difference. Now,
hey, welcome to this week's podcast. We are here again. It's nice outside, actually. The sun's shining, and I was like, "This is nice, sparkly snow outside." And
this morning, I described it as a romantic light snow.
Oh, I
wow!
like that, yeah.
Perfect for the series.
Yeah,
perfect.
Very lightly coming down. It hit the thermal, place.
Yeah, and it's just magical, right?
Nice little fireplace crackling in the background.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know. I was telling my wife, I was complaining again this morning, like I always do in the morning, because I'm not awake yet. So
Mama didn't raise a quitter, but
she did
I'm
not.
going to complain about it.
I'm going to complain about it, and I was like, these 40-pound bags of pellets are getting old. I'm just tired of hauling these stupid things in. And
the pellets are getting old, or you're getting old?
I'm getting old.
Okay.
And the whole idea of the pellets are getting old. Yeah, I am done. But I don't have any other option. I'm not going to a wood boiler. I'm not setting that up, and I'm not doing wood again, so we're doing those. For anybody that's listening that does use wood pellets, Meyer is selling them $1 cheaper than everybody else, just to put it out there. So it's worth a little shout out for that. I don't know about you guys. Do you have a good week so far?
Great week.
Yeah.
Super
week?
Yep.
And we have somebody else here, another voice.
Well, hello.
Hey, who's that? Who's that, Pastor Gary?
This is my girlfriend, Lisa Kay.
All right.
And this is her very first
debut
time on the podcast.
No way. First time?
Yep. She has
Wow.
She has supplied us with different ideas in the past and maybe a voiceover once in a while, but here she is live and in person.
She's done call-ins before.
Yeah.
when you guys had the chickens.
Yep.
And that when we did the whole Cluck Norris thing, she was call-in, but she's never been here physically in the studio before to actually have a conversation with us. So this is a whole new experience for her.
Yeah, I feel like one of those moms that have just yelled at their children.
Yeah.
And then have to answer the phone, hello.
Yeah.
Because
I'm going to kill you.
My husband's like, you're doing it. And I'm like, no, I'm not doing this. Hello.
What is the bribery that we're using here? Is it a date night at Vernal?
Well, I just told her that there's a new policy at Harbor Light. If you speak from the platform, you're on the podcast.
Oh.
And I'm such a rule follower.
You put that out there.
Yep, from the platform to the podcast.
I don't know if it's necessarily true.
It's one step.
Yeah. But it's good. But I would still push for a nice dinner or something.
Yeah. Okay. I'll do that.
Yeah.
Get what you can get, give nothing back.
Yeah,
right?
I would do it.
Pirates.
I would say, hey,
Pirates.
hello. Hello, I want something to eat. Well, do you wonder why you take the time each week to listen to more podcasts? I'll tell you why. MORE stands for maximizing opportunities for right now and eternity. So stop asking why you listen. Just never forget to listen and pass it on. And just keep doing that. We do have some scheduling things coming up here. Next week, my son is getting married, so I won't be here. So I don't know if we're going to actually do a podcast. Are we going to do one or no? We've got a whole bunch of podcasts you can listen to. So maybe we'll just take that week off because I won't be here, and I won't be able to do a remote because I'll be celebrating.
Sure.
Having my first kid, the youngest, getting married. My wife and I were talking about that coming in today. I'm like, I cannot believe that our youngest is getting married. Just the whole idea of that is just so weird. But it's good, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah, marriage is a good thing.
So no podcast next week. That's what
I would say probably no podcast. So just listen to one of the older ones. I know some people have told us that, the first year was kind of rough, but we still got some good ones from season 2 out there. And now that we're on season 3, we got some good ones. It's always good to go back over and hear some of the things we've said, and you're like, I can't believe they actually just said that. So, and there are at least quite a few podcasts where Pastor Hunter wasn't here yet.
True.
Yeah, so you
can
go
a couple hundred.
Yeah. You can go back and listen to Crunchy Christian and a bunch of other good ones on there. Well, today's podcast is brought to you by Stan's Ice is Probably Fine Shanty Rentals right out of Mullet Lake. If you hit a snowbank, you're probably pretty close to his business. At Stan's, every ice shanty is built from plywood, faith, and things Stan found behind his garage. Each rental includes a propane heater that works if you talk to it nicely, folding chairs from a church basement that he found, and a handwritten safety notice that just says, use wisdom Wisdom. You can choose from different models that he has on the lake. The Pastor Special, warm enough to stay, cold enough to keep it short. The Fellowship Shack holds 8 people in one loud opinion.
Come on.
And the she'll hold model, Stan stood on it twice, and he's pretty sure it's going to work.
Yep.
Stan's Ice Shanties is probably fine. These rentals are available. He's been serving Mullet Lake since 1972.
There you go.
Yeah. I was driving by today. I saw a nice little shanty town out there.
Yeah.
Apparently, all the shanties are all kind of congregating one area.
And they find where the fish is at, and then
They all get
everyone
down
goes
there, yeah.
We drove by a lake, and Eden said, "Dad, why is there a porta potty out there?" I said, "Well, Eden, believe it or not, they're fishing in that."
They are. And
They might be also using it as potty.
That's right, yeah. There are guys out there that buy those old, porta
Yeah,
potties, and
yeah.
they just bore out a hole in the toilet part and go for it.
There you go. I saw a dude with a minivan who had a hole right in the middle of his minivan. He just
Are you kidding me?
no,
That's commitment.
Wow.
That is commitment. I don't know about
just
that.
drive it right out there.
Yeah. So I don't know. Have you been ice fishing yet, Pastor Gary?
Nope, we have not made it on the ice yet.
Really?
Life's been a little bit busy for the past month.
Apparently, you're in the snow removal business now.
Yep.
And the cleaning. We'll
And
be
the cleaning.
cleaning tonight.
Yeah, the cleaning business, the snow removal business. And then on top of that, you're pastoring a church, which is always fun.
Yeah.
So you're going to get out there maybe before the ice melts? Or
Don't see it happening.
No, but this would be a great time to plug the veteran angler. I watched his latest video, YouTube video the other day, and they caught a steelhead, he and Matt Robertson, and it
Really?
was pretty amazing. Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was
It
super
was a pretty big fish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And have you
On the
seen
big
his
lake.
new
Yeah.
on the ice.
his new ice crawler machine?
No, I have not.
Oh my gosh, it's super awesome. He took a snowmobile apart, and now you stand behind this machine. It's
Yeah.
a track machine with a big long handle, and then you stand in a sled that is lightly attached, and then you drive it around.
No
It can
way.
climb snowbanks, goes really
Really?
fast.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Matt?
It's like a powered
No,
dog
this
sled.
was Jason Mesner.
Oh, okay. Jason Mesner.
Wow.
The
Okay.
veteran angler. Yeah. And
Wow.
so it's like a powered dog sled with no
That's
dogs.
incredible.
Yeah. It's
That's pretty
really
cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah.
Listen, only in northern Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's incredible.
This is where you can
So
make stuff.
check that out.
Yeah, yep.
Mo Fishies.
Make whatever you want. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I always used to think it was funny because in Escanaba, ice fishing's a big deal up there too. And these guys will basically use anything to get out to the ice. I mean, trucks with skis in the front, and then they're fishing off the back of the truck. I've seen it all.
Yeah.
But I told you guys, I think earlier, that they put a stripped down car out in the water, out in the ice, and they basically have cameras set up and they watch it. And people actually bet on when that thing's going to go through the ice. And the winner gets a lot of money because it's a big deal up there. But then it goes through the ice, and then whoever was right close to the mark, they win a lot of money. It's a big deal up there.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you do.
gotta
for fun.
have something for fun.
That's
There's
right.
gotta be
Yeah.
entertainment. When does the car fall through the ice?
Usually in April.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, usually. In
Didn't you
April.
guys in Pelson have that contest where you buy a block off the football field and a cow roams around where it takes a deposit? You win if you buy that block.
Well, listen, I've never heard of that, but it's probably,
That's amazing.
but it's probably true, right?
He's like, yeah, I would put money on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you're in the winter up here, you got to come up with some creative
find
things.
something.
And actually, we're going to talk about some things.
Yeah, speaking of that.
we're going to talk
Yeah.
about this a little bit later. We're taking an ID break. Come back with introductions. I don't know how the heck we're going to do this because I'm a little
Just
nervous.
pretend I'm Ted.
Hey, don't worry about it.
Don't okay. You want to do? I'll do Ted's for you.
Sure.
But you gotta say Lisa
Yeah,
K.
yeah. We'll
Okay.
just change the pronouns.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go over there.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
She's going to read one. All right.
Bottom one right here.
All right.
Pass it on to
Okay.
her. I don't even know what it says about me.
Yeah, he does. Nobody knows what's being said about them until we get here, so
No.
it's always fun. All right, we'll be right back.
You're listening to More Podcast, where the unreal meets the real and something happens with gamma radiation, and then the More Podcast is born. Keep listening. There's so much more.
Well, if happiness could be measured in inches of snowfall, she would be having the best winter of her life. While the rest of us are counting down to spring, she's just getting started. Lisa K is here in the house.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for letting me be here. Long before the snow hits the ground, he's already preparing. Not emotionally, strategically. He doesn't throw snowballs, he releases them. If you didn't see it coming, that's on you.
Amen.
Please welcome the reason snow days come with trust issues, Pastor Hunter.
Let's go.
I heard Seamus say something about that.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You're never safe.
Yeah.
Some people own a wood boiler. He knows a wood boiler. He doesn't hear noises. He hears communication. He doesn't check gauges. He senses things. That boiler isn't running. It's performing. Pastor Gary.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh my gosh, there's so much truth to that right there.
Yes.
All right, the man sitting across the table from all of us, the man with all of the talent, knows what every button and knob does. The man who kills 2 stones with 1 bird.
Yes.
He mines Bitcoin with a pickaxe.
Yep.
Pastor Alex Norton.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. Finally, somebody notices that. Yeah, it's not easy. So Lisa Kay, it's so awesome to have you here.
Thank you.
Yeah. So,
Yeah, I'm so glad to be here.
we're all talking around the table. Like, what was the bribery that brought you in the studio?
It could be food. It could, be something
food, yeah.
else.
Could be food. Yeah.
A trip to Japan.
Oh, hey, this is going to be expensive. Yeah.
That's on the forecast.
Yeah. You guys are really thinking about going to Japan?
Nope.
You are. You're going to Japan.
I'm going to go see my brother.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah.
3 weeks.
In 3 weeks, you're going.
No, for 3 weeks.
Oh, for 3 weeks.
Yeah. My
It's,
husband's going to have to cook his own
Yeah,
food.
Pastor Gary, what are you going to do?
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
We'll have
Well,
you
tell
over
him
for
what you're
dinner a
doing.
couple
Okay.
times. We got
Okay.
your back.
Tell him what you're doing
I'm going to take down the middle wall in our house and expand our living room.
Oh,
and put new carpet in
nice. So, yeah.
and clean up.
Wow.
Clean up.
Yeah.
What a man.
Before she gets back.
Before I get
Yeah. That I get it. That usually happens to me. Amy goes on mission trips. She comes back, and I've had to do something like that. Yeah, something. Yeah. Well, Well, we put you on the list for food delivery from the ladies in the church. You know, they tend to take care of me, and I'll put you on the list too. And,
All right, thank
There you go.
Yeah, it's always good. So we're going to come back with some interesting things. Groundhog, that stupid little rodent, showed his head, and what's his name? Pontawani?
Punxsutawney Phil.
Punxsutawney Phil. Punxsutawney.
Hey, we were close.
Yeah, we were.
Phil's the last name.
Well, my sister went to Nobbler's Gob or Gob's Nobbler or whatever it is, and she saw the thing come out, and you should have assassinated that thing. That's what you should have done.
That's why his name's Phil. So I'm going to fill the ground with him.
Fill him. Take him out.
Ching.
She said it was fun. I'm like, it doesn't seem like fun to stand out in the freezing cold
Again.
and watch it. Yeah.
There's just nothing to do.
Right. And this is the thing I didn't know. Do you know the guy that pulls the rodent out of the hole actually puts it up to his ear, and apparently he is the rodent whisperer, and he communicates on his behalf. And I'm like,
Wow.
what is that about?
That's weird.
That is weird. So
Yeah.
there's a video of him listening to this stupid rodent. I'm like,
Yeah.
the thing was going to bite you. That's what it was going to do. It was not talking to you. So there's stupid things out there. I don't know. Apparently we have one from Michigan. It's Hal or Harry or something like that. And he shows up in Detroit, but it doesn't get much press conference. Nobody wants to see our version of it.
Poor guy showing up in Detroit.
Yeah, he's like, he doesn't want to come out of there because he's worried about getting shot. He's like, I'm going to get robbed if I come out of here. I'm just going to stay
I think
in
his
here.
name is 8 Mile Earl.
Yeah.
Stay in there, buddy. Don't come out.
Hey, Earl.
It's not a good thing. It's not safe to come out. So we're going to talk about that. There's some things we could do to make it a little more festival since we've got 6 more weeks of this garbage happening. Like I've said to you before, every podcast, I'm over winter. I'm done. I used to be, dyed in the wool, Northern Michigan person, love the winter. No, I'm done. I'm like, I've gotten too many tastes of Florida.
How many years did you do in Escanaba?
4.
Hey, make it sound like he was in prison. How many
right.
years in Escanaba?
Yeah, I know.
He was sentenced to 6. He did 4.
Yeah, I know. Fulton Prison, up in Escanaba. Yeah. Oh my gosh, I told you that the first month that we were there, we got 22 inches in a week and a half. 22 inches of snow
Get
fell.
out.
That's prison.
Yeah, that's prison. Felt like I was in Mother Russia somewhere. So we're going to come back with that and give you some ideas to make it a little bit more fun for the next 6 weeks, right after this break.
Listening to more podcast is like buying a used car. It seems like a good idea at the time. Then you realize that this is going to be an investment. Much like more podcast. So stay a while and kick the tires for an hour. Not too hard. We do tend to have some things fall off. More podcast.
Well, yesterday was Groundhog Day, which means the groundhog says that we've got 6 more weeks of winter. You know, that's cute, but up north, we don't need a groundhog to tell us that. We already know because winter will leave when it's ready. Spring will show up late, and we'll still complain either way. So welcome to life up north, where the forecast is always the same, and you just kind of embrace it. You just make it happen. You know, it's just, it is what it is. But here on More Podcast, we always try to give you a little bit of hope. You know, we don't want you to just say, oh my gosh, 6 more weeks of winter. If that, I mean, if we're lucky, you know, it could be a little longer. You never know. I mean, because we've had snow getting very close to the middle of spring before. So, yeah, it's possible. So these are some of our best ideas of winter festival ideas that we can maybe create or get somebody started in one of our communities. Just some ideas. The first one I think is kind of interesting because this would work well where I live over by Mullet and Burt Lake. Ice Shanty open house tours. I mean, doesn't that sound like it'd be fun? Like start a festival surrounding that idea where you just kind of walk around and look at ice shanties that nobody really wants to go into anyways because they probably smell, probably full of all kinds of weird stuff. But each shanty claims that they have the best setup of the year. I mean, we were just talking about it right now. I mean, we were just sitting around the table saying how great some people have it. I don't know. I've never really been in an ice shanty where I'm like, I could just stay in here for hours.
Isn't it Minnesota where they have like beds and
Oh yeah,
and the whole get up and TVs and they really aren't fishing. They're
getting away from their wives. That's what they're doing. Let's just be
It's
honest.
called deer camp.
Yeah,
We figured out how to do it on the ice.
Let's get away from our wives. That's what. Let's be honest, men. You know, and we can do it for a couple hours. And we're saying we're getting food for the family. I don't know. I've tried a couple times to go ice fishing, and it's been okay. But you know, after about an hour, you're just like staring at each other, and you're like, "What are we talking about now?" I mean, we've already talked about football. We already talked about our wives. We already talked about the kids.
That's why Euchre exists.
Yeah, okay, that works.
I got to tell you a real quick story. So
Yeah.
I've gone ice fishing with my son-in-law and my grandsons before, and we were out there, and I'm telling you what, it had to be, you know, probably below 10 degrees outside, and we were there for about 20 minutes, got the little shanty set up, and the whole, you know, sputted out, and everything was all good. And then my grandson, I won't tell you which one, but he's the one that would fall in every time. So he stuck his leg all the way up to his thigh, fell right in the hole.
Oh, no.
And I went outside and I'm like, Phil, Lincoln fell in the hole.
Oh, you just told us.
I know. But Lincoln fell in the hole, you know, thinking like we're going to have to get off the ice.
Yeah.
He's like, he'll be fine. And we just went back to fishing.
Right.
It's like he falls in the hole every time.
He'll be all right.
It's only frostbite. Walk it off, kid. Frostbite doesn't hurt nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't see. I don't know.
Got to learn.
You got to be
Yeah.
tough. If you're
Yeah.
going to be out on the ice, you got to be a tough
That's
person.
true. That's true. But like I said, I've seen where they have been these luxurious setups. There's a friend of mine who goes out there, and he has one of those satellite TVs. So he's out there watching TV all day, fishing. I don't know how many he's catching, but he's out there enjoying himself.
Catching a good time.
And he has a lounge chair that he took from his basement, and he's out there. I don't know. So that's what he's doing. All right, here's another one. This one I think would be kind of fun. Snowblower drag racing. Doesn't it sound like a fun idea for a festival? I mean, come on. Straight line, deep snow, pride on the line. Half the crowd knows nothing about engines, but everyone has opinions about how it should be done.
Yeah.
I think this would be fun.
Yeah, Ted would love this. He just got his new one. He's got
That's
He's
true.
got the Prius of.
Oh, he did?
Right.
Oh, yes.
Right?
Yeah. Single stage plastic augered. Remember he was
Right.
bragging about it?
No, it's not
Hilarious.
plastic. It's rubber.
It's
Remember
not
we got-
plastic.
remember?
It's hard plastic.
Come on. We already talked about that. But was it the one you got from Temu or something?
I don't know. I don't know where he got it.
It's got a 20-volt battery that you got to change out after you do one.
Well, we could have the gas powered ones and electric powered ones, right? We can't.
Right.
We
It's
can't
got
have them in
different
this-
classes.
Yeah, come on.
Different classes, and you can do snow. You can do those races out there on the ice somewhere. Here's another one: the Ice is Fine confidence contest. Contestants step out onto the ice, explain very confidently why it's safe, judge entirely on tone, hand gestures, and how often they say.
That one has to take place in October, though.
Right.
Because by now it's already a foot thick.
Right, it's not that bad. Although I will tell you that on Mullet Lake, people were getting on that lake when it was still on the shoreline. There was still water, and they're like,
They have to
"It's
wade,
fine."
They have to wade
Yeah.
into the ice.
Right, yeah.
So on sunny days, I like to walk out on Crooked Lake. So I took Michelle Walker one time with me. I don't think she had been out on the ice before. But anyway, I'm like, oh, it's so fun because you get the full sun. There's no trees blocking it, right?
Yeah.
You just walk out there. Well, the ice was going, wow, wow.
Nope.
It sounded like Star Wars. She's like, is this safe? I'm like, oh, yeah, it's totally fine.
Yeah. When you can see through the ice and the fish are looking at you going, all right, here we go. This is going to happen.
You're about to be in my world.
Yeah. I don't know. I just I've been in through the ice a few times. I don't think I would do it. But for those of us that love to do this stuff, I mean, it's good for you. It's like walking on water. You're just like, you feel like Jesus for 5 seconds.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Here's another one. Snowbank Excavation Championship. It's a timed event. Dig your car out of a snowbank. Bonus points for a bad shovel, unsolicited advice, and a stranger silently helping you.
We'll see if somebody listens from the school. I have considered at the end of our parking lot where they have the big snowbanks, making sections, like 4 sections, and then having like the freshmen versus the seniors, you know, and have a snowbank sculpture contest.
Oh,
That would
You
be
know,
great.
so you have
'cause
a
it's
whole
been-
week to build this thing, and then we'll judge it at the end
That'd
of the
be
week.
super fun.
It
That would be
fun,
good.
wouldn't
You
it?
should bring that up.
We should probably do 5 sections. There'd be a staff one versus, yeah.
I like that.
It's been cold enough that snow is nice and hard, so you could
Yeah.
carve it.
You really could.
Yeah. I think that's a great idea. I think you need to bring that to Kelly.
And you know, shout out to Brandon Southwell, who came in with his loader and moved all our banks and made them a little bit taller. Thank you, Brandon, for that. But you're also helping us maybe do this contest.
That would have been fun to watch that. I love. Do you ever? This is what I love to do. I love to sit back and watch these guys with these big machines every now and then. Like when we're like driving down the road and they're doing work construction and stuff like that. I'm the guy that's like slowing the traffic down because I'm like watching those things go by. Because it's amazing to me how these machines work. Yeah.
We have a guy that goes to Harbor Light who works for the county, and he drives the snowplow truck. Have you ever looked at those things? There's the semi height, and then there's the snowplow height. They sit extra high up in there so they can get over top of all that snow that's being ejected out in front of them. He said that there are times when there is so much snow when it's blowing back in his face that he has to watch the power lines as a gauge to where he's at on the road.
Oh yeah, makes sense. Yeah.
How would you like to have that job at 40 miles an hour?
Oh, we're all right.
I don't know. It'd be kind of fun if I could actually do it. It'd be fun. I don't know. I watched those guys, Minnesota and Wisconsin. They have those Oshkosh units, and they're like 20-foot blades out there on the highway.
Yeah.
That would be fun. I mean, that thing's massive, and it's a massive tractor truck, and they're driving those things. I'd love to be behind one of those things, man.
This is the first year we've had to get us a new mailbox in a long time. They've done so
They took
well.
it out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They ripped the door right off and threw it over the neighbors.
they've hit a few of ours on our street. They've hit mine, but didn't take it out because last year I put like a wall around it because I knew every year they come at it, and I'm like, I put it out far enough so that when they push the snow, it doesn't go to my mailbox. And they still hit it. I don't know how they hit it, but they almost took the door off.
Well, again, talking to my friend, I do the same thing. So you snow blow in front of your mailbox so that snow doesn't hit your mailbox, right, when it's coming down the road. But when they're going, they're actually holding tension against the snowbank, and when they hit your depression, the truck moves over out of their control and then takes out your takes out your mailbox.
I like the guy that's coming on Powers Road. He got smart. He set it up to where it's a pole that goes out and then comes out onto the road, but it hangs over the road. Yeah. I thought that was that's brilliant.
It is brilliant.
I think I might have to do something like that next year. Because
I'd like to see the mail person when they keep trying to get your mailbox door open and things swinging over all over the place.
Okay, so I think you should bring that up to Kelly. I think that'd be a great fun. Okay, here's the last one. Woodpile Judging Pavilion. People slowly walk by, stack firewood, and quietly judge it. Awards include That'll Burn Hot, Respectable, and What Happened Here. Apparently in the Netherlands, this is an actual thing. Wood stacking. And you have to stack wood, and it has to look a certain way, and you can win based off that.
Yeah, that was also my life.
Oh, yeah, you're good at it.
That was also my childhood with my dad, where I would stack and he would come down and say, "Hey, bud, that's not good enough.
Redo it.
We got to get double the amount of wood right there. So why don't you try again?"
Wow.
So
yes, sir, Father.
I take it you're not burning wood right now.
No,
you're never going to do that again.
If it happens, it happens. But
there is a
try
style
not to.
of where they build these almost like a pyramid out of wood, and then it sheds its own moisture off of it.
Yeah.
And I've seen those 4 or
cool.
5 of those in people's yards. They're pretty impressive.
But you just throw massive logs in your boiler, right?
I do.
Yeah,
I
you
do.
just run them in there.
Yep.
Hey, look at those muscles. Oh, so nice.
And we know
my bicep.
he goes out there in his cowboy boots, and that was on a podcast already. Did you hear about that one?
No, and I think I'm good.
You don't want to know? It's a visual that will never come out of your mind.
Yeah, that's the goal is to have it never go in.
All right, we're taking a night break. Come back with Harbor Light Bible Trivia. And Pastor Gary, you got a question, right?
I do.
All right. Last week, who was the winner? Leslie.
Yes.
Leslie was the winner, and you got her gift, right?
I'm working on it.
Ted apparently is still working on the T-shirt for Joe. the winner from last month, and we'll get.
And I talked to Joe about that, and he just said there was a sizing issue.
Oh, really?
That needed to be taken care of. Yeah.
What do you do? Buy him. Ted should not be responsible for that. I don't know.
If 1 + 1 = 2, then listening to more podcasts from week to week equals? We're not sure, but our fans say it adds up to something. Just don't overthink it. Sit back, we have more to come.
Hey, before we get into this, did you guys watch the Grammys?
Are you kidding? Would never.
Well, okay, you should have, because Jelly Roll got his preach on right in the middle of the Grammys. Did you watch it?
Yeah.
I was like,
I watched clips of it.
he pulled out his Bible,
Yep.
and he was preaching about Jesus and get to know Jesus and get saved. And I mean, they let him talk for what, 30, 40 seconds. I mean, they didn't like pull him off the stage, and he was up there crying and stuff. And then after they interviewed him, like, what the heck was going on with that whole thing? And he's like, I'm just telling you about Jesus, changed my life, and all this other stuff. I was like, this is awesome.
Pretty sure Jesus actually changed his life. I think
so.
sometimes people just say it because they want that connection.
No, yeah.
But I think there's been a difference.
He's on Star Search. My wife and I watch Star Search on Netflix, and he's on there, and he keeps talking about his relationship with Jesus, and he's sharing his faith with other people, telling them they need to know Jesus. And I'm like, this is awesome. This is good. Anyways, well, we're here with Harbor Light Bible Trivia, and if you want to be a part of it and get your name on the Wilson Insurance Wheel of Destiny, all you got to do is send it to harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase. And Pastor Gary, you're up.
All right, we have a question from Genesis chapter 2. God says, Genesis chapter 2, God says to Adam, hey, something's going to be happening in the future when a man will be united to his wife. What's the first step, and why is that prophetic? So what was the first step in this direction that God gives Adam in Genesis chapter 2, and why is it prophetic?
Oh, that's good.
So kind of a deeper level question here.
All right, dig deep on this one.
Yes. And we actually had some come up to us after the service on Sunday, and they had already spotted where this question came from today. They saw it, yeah.
Okay.
So Genesis chapter 2, God says something to Adam. He says a man's going to he's going to be united to his wife, but right before that he says something prophetic. What is it?
Okay. Do you got any ideas? Or?
I don't talk during this.
Yeah, no. He never talks. He doesn't, because he gave the answer away the first time he was on the show.
Yes, I know. I listen every week.
I know you do. You are one of our faithful Uber fans out of all of them.
That thumbs up every week.
So if you know the answer to that, this deep theological question, send it to harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, harborlightbibletrivia@gmail.com, all lowercase, and let us know the answer, and then we'll put your name on the Wilson Insurance Wheel of Destiny, and then we'll spin it. And last week, Leslie won for the month of January. I don't know what she won, but she won something really cool, right?
Yes.
Yeah, she won something really cool. Yep. I'm assured of it. All of our sweatshop minions have got it together for her, and she's been taken care of. But you could possibly win whatever it may be.
I'm just waiting for the live trap to go off, and then I'll get her prize.
Yeah,
we're getting that groundhog.
It's right? Ponchakawani Phil.
Ponchwayne Phil.
Ponchwayne Phil. So we're going to come back with Bible Talk, and we've got a really special time because the people that talked on Sunday are here, and Pastor Gary and Lisa Kay are here, and so we're going to have a chance to go over some of the things they talked about on Sunday, but it's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be right back.
Headphones on. Check. The perfect podcast on. Check. Not sure why you're listening? Good point. Should you keep listening? Yes. Should you tell others you listen to the More Podcast? Good idea. Life just got better.
Well, last Sunday was a great start to our new marriage series, Tighten the Knot. Instead of a traditional sermon, we invited everyone into a conversation. And what we heard was honest, practical, and deeply biblical. We talked about something we don't always slow down to consider, the knot itself. And in Scripture, marriage isn't just a ceremony or a contract, it's a covenant. Two lives intentionally woven together, no longer separate. What affects one affects both. What strengthens one strengthens the other. But we were also reminded of an important truth. Knots don't stay tight on their own. pressure, friction, and time can loosen what was once secure. That's why in marriage, oneness and covenant aren't one-time ideas. They're something we return to again and again with intention. Last Sunday set the foundation. We weren't talking about perfect marriages. We were talking about faithful ones. Marriages that pause, look closely, and choose to tighten what life has pulled loose. And that's what this series is about, learning how to stay tied together by God's design, starting with oneness and covenant. Pastor Gary.
Well, it was a privilege to be able to get on stage with my bride and for her to be able to participate in this and give some more perspective on this theme. It was really fun, too, to get the whole thing started with being called up on the stage with Mandy McGockian, who did a beautiful job in the interview. It was kind of fun to have that little Ring of Fire call to the stage. It was a lot of fun, and again, felt like celebrity just for a real short moment there.
Yeah,
it was like
hooting and hollering.
Yeah,
and people,
you even looked like one. Right?
Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Like an Oprah moment.
And Lisa Kay wasn't super excited about being up there, but she always comes through every time that she
did amazing.
Thank you.
Yes,
Yeah.
she did amazing.
So, Lisa Kay, why don't I ask you a question to follow up with what Pastor Alex has just shared? There was a couple things that we didn't get a chance to talk about because of time. Would you like to elaborate on something?
Yes. I wanted to share, I just love it when I see people come into the church and they're holding hands and the husband's, driving his wife up to the door, or he's getting the door for her, or maybe they steal a kiss, or they put, he's got his arm around her, or she's got her arm around him, or maybe even a little, pat on the tush. Those
In church
on Sunday.
because I feel like this generation needs to see that married couples are in love and have fun.
Yeah.
Like it's just a sign to me that the stresses of the world have not robbed them completely of their intimacy.
Yeah.
And I just love to see that. So we tease, we say, like Chuck and Linda, they'll come in holding hands. I'm like, 10,000 points. You get 10,000 points for that. And whatever you do with your points is up to you, but you've got. So
I love that.
We also love to be in a grocery store and we'll see an older couple and we'll ask them how long they've been dating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And usually older people are pretty quick to it. They'll be like, "Yep, 47 years. We've been dating 47 years."
Yep.
And we just talk about it. It's a wonderful little conversation starter. And so we always encourage people whenever we see them, being affectionate and caring for each other.
And Pastor Gary's done a great job of using the term bride. Like, I will always be his bride. I will always be his girlfriend. And that just keeps you back at that, initial full-on love stage in your mind, too. Just like we can't lose that first love for Jesus. We can't lose that first love for our spouse either.
Absolutely.
I think it's so important to do that. It's so funny. I'm sure your kids are like that. I'm sure your kids are like that. My kids find it nauseating, with my wife and I around.
On the surface, but underneath, they're happy.
Oh,
Yeah. But I think it's funny, though, because they're like, oh, my gosh,
Get a room.
Get a room.
That's when we tell them we got the whole house.
This is ours. Yeah. You're not.
Whatever chair you're sitting on has been christened.
Yes.
That'll really gross them out.
Then they're like, I can't be in this house anymore.
Exactly.
Well, Pastor Gary,
So if you're trying to get your kid to move out,
last Sunday, you talked about how oneness is declared instantly by God, but formed over a lifetime. And can you walk us back through what you meant by that and why so many couples get stuck thinking oneness should just happen automatically?
Yeah, I think that, you look back at the possible process that the Lord took Adam through, so he was completed in his creation, he was complete, and then God said, that's not good, that you're all by yourself and isolated and you don't need someone else and you can't have that dependency. So he takes out of him the rib, and now he's incomplete, and then brings Eve to Adam, and that now forms that completeness, okay? So that ceremony, so to speak, that God walked Adam through was the moment that they became one. Mm-hmm. It's just like our salvation. The moment I accept Jesus and put my faith in him, I'm instantly saved. Mm-hmm. But then there's a process of my salvation that comes after that where I'm becoming more and more like Christ. And so that's 2 Corinthians chapter 3. So I reflect his glory and I become more and more like Jesus. Well, the process is taking place in marriage is we became one on the ceremony, and then it was consummated on the honeymoon. But then the process of oneness takes our whole lifetime. It's not something that we are going to arrive at ever, right? But we're becoming more and more united, more and more in one in our thoughts and our goals and our communication and our intimacy, and all of those things are wrapped up in this process. And to not be frustrated with that process, but to enjoy it and to ride that stream is where the Lord takes you.
That's good. Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head. When we do premarital, I'm sure you do it as well. But we always explain that this whole oneness thing is a mystery. Mm-hmm. It's crazy how it happens. Like you come together first, and you're two separate people, and you're trying to learn how to live together. And then all of a sudden, at some point in your marriage, then you start thinking like each other, liking the same things, all that stuff. One of the things that I often share as a story for myself is that, my wife used to love watching Hallmark movies and the Christmas stuff, and I was just like, this is ridiculous. And then at some point, some switch got flipped, and I'm like, oh, I'll sit with you and watch this.
That's called low T, and there is something.
Low T, yeah, you need to go get pills. You need to go get some pills because your testosterone's gone. Yeah, but I'm sitting there, and I'm like, I just realized this is something that she likes to do, and it's not a big deal. Mm-hmm. And then the best thing that ever happened was the first time she quoted something from Star Wars, and I'm like, this is the woman that I'm in love with for the rest of my life. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it happens. So it's really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think that's important to realize that it's not what you're doing, it's who you're doing it with.
Yeah.
Right? That shows the oneness. If we're going resailing together, which we both like doing anyways, but I just want to be able to be there with Lisa Kay and whatever we're doing. And I think that's important.
Yeah. Yeah, but we've, now that the kids are grown and gone and have their own kids, we do it even more, right?
Yeah.
We spend more and more time together. And so, when you have little ones, it's harder to steal away those times together, and you just do the best you can, and you get people alongside you. That's why small groups are great, because then you can help each other out during those times and still give each other date nights and stuff like that too.
Mm-hmm. You created two terms that I think maybe have been shocking to some people because maybe they've never thought of it that way. But you said the first one was contractual marriage, is what we see a lot of times in society. Mm-hmm. And you said there is covenant marriage. What's the difference between those?
Yeah, so we like to explore this idea that most people, and I'm going to tell you, it's in the upper 90% of couples, our lives included, we got married based on some needs that I wanted to have met by somebody else, and so that's the contractual idea that I'll do my part if you do your part. You don't
kind
do
of
your
the 50-50,
Yeah, the 50-50.
not 100-100. It's
Right.
50-50.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, so most everybody gets married under that mindset, even if they're following Jesus, right? I have these needs, I want to get these needs met, and so when we do switch over to a covenant. Now that's like based on I want to serve you no matter if you're keeping your end, no matter if you're able to keep your end. That's the couple who maybe they experience some kind of an accident and the man is now paralyzed and the wife has to do everything. Are you going to bail out at that point because the contract has been broken? Right?
Yeah.
No, a covenant says no matter what terms, like we said, we all make these promises and vows in our wedding ceremony for better, for worse, for richer, poor, sickness, and in health. What if it's for poor, worse, and sickness?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right? That's the other half of the vow you made. What happens if it's all three of them at the same time? Right? So that's the difference. And I feel, we both feel like that's a part of our role as pastors to help people understand that you can get married under a contractual idea, but move it towards a covenant, even if you were not in the right mindset, right? And this will come at a moment, most probably at a difficult spot, when you feel like the contract has been broken, and it's time for you to switch over to that covenantal idea.
That's
amazing. Yeah, there's something about contract, covenant marriage, the differences between the two, and I think when people are under a contract marriage, that knot will loosen over time through like whatever it is, pressure, friction, and neglect. And which of those do you see loosening marriages most often? Why is it so important that marriages look back over the knot to check it? So pressure, friction, neglect.
I'll let you speak about it as well here, Lisa Kay, but I think it happens when we have children. It seems to be when it really starts taking hold, because now all of a sudden I can't just get away with a certain amount of selfishness and be okay.
Yeah.
Because these children are giving you very, very little in return for the effort you're putting into it, right? And that's just by design. It's not that your kids are bad or anything, but they suck up all your energy, all your time, everything, and now you're not getting much back to get your needs met. And then all of a sudden we start looking across the way, and it starts putting a strain on our marriage, because now your spouse is also working just as hard as you are to take care of these kids, and that puts a lot of pressure on that knot.
Yeah, and I think too, we have so many things going, and we feel like, well, they're all doing all these things and all these sports and all this stuff, And so we feel like we have to do that too. But you got to say, okay, God, what is good for our family? What's healthy for our family so that we can keep each other in focus and not do everything else the world is doing, you know? I mean, I don't have Facebook because I don't want that distraction. And there's other reasons why, but you know, as a pastor's wife, I don't need to know everybody's issues.
Yeah.
I just want to love them when I see them and see them the way that they really are, right? And be there for them. And that's the same, you know, I don't need any extra distractions in my marriage. So kind of like just peeling away things that aren't necessary, doing stuff together as a family so that you can spend time together, and then making sure you have those date nights. I guess I don't know if that helps.
No,
right,
it's good.
'Cause
right. I think the one thing that Lisa Kay just touched on, and we are very unpopular when we say this, and people look at us as though we're Amish. Listen, your kid doesn't need to be in all 14 sports, and all 12 of your kids doing 14 sports. You think you're doing family time,
Right.
You're not. Right,
No,
you're not.
I watch
You're just
people on their phones at sporting events. They're the husband and wife aren't even sitting by each other. They're not even watching their children
Right.
play. So you gotta, and they're busy talking. It's like a social time, which is great. All of those things aren't bad. It's just, what are your goals? And we had that, like, make a plan and work the plan.
Right.
And does this fit into our plan? So sports are awesome because kids need that exercise because they're not necessarily getting it in school. Like we used to have like hour-long recess, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
all that stuff and that interaction. But so they need it. They just don't need a plethora of it, right?
Right. Yeah.
just pick one sport per season, and you guys spread that over 3 kids. You know, you're going to be going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we just want you to be careful about how fast the pace is in life, because that can really start putting a strain. And you think you're in the same gymnasium, but you're not really together.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So we asked that one key question on Sunday is, we're gonna do this activity, or we're gonna participate in this thing. How can I make this draw us closer as one, right? And maybe I need to change my outlook on it, or how I'm going to do it to move towards oneness. I think that's a key question to ask on almost everything you do. How is this
Right.
going to help us be more like one?
Yeah. When did you guys realize that you had to be intentional about oneness? At what point in your marriage were you like, this is when the rubber meets the road?
I think you're number 5, what we talked about. Yeah. And it's only gotten better since then. Like, because we've had other issues come up in life, health issues and children, going off, prodigal kid issues and all of that. So if we weren't going to be on the same page back then, it was going to be hard to be on the same page later. So I'm pretty sure it started then. And then we've gotten better at making a plan and a goal and writing it on paper and going over it every week as the years have went by.
Yeah, I think you guys sharing that was so important for our congregation to hear, because I think husbands and wives will feel like they're the ones who are wrong. Like they're the only ones
Yep.
who aren't getting it. And because they're the only ones who aren't getting it, then there's shame, and shame makes you not look at that area. And so, every good climber, every good person on boats, they're going to check their knots over and over and over again because they know that their life depends on it. And so marriages depend on this knot staying together, but there's so much shame wrapped around it that nobody will look.
Yeah,
and I feel like you guys did a good job taking the shame off to show us that, hey, it's okay that you've had these problems and you're okay to go and look at it and figure it out. But
I think that to go along with that, we both loved Jesus at that time.
Right.
I'm serving Jesus. We're in ministry, but I was the one that probably needed the biggest wake-up call. I had too many activities that weren't bringing me close to my wife, and they were all selfish-based for the most part, other than my career stuff, which was very taxing. But I'm a go-getter person, right? I don't wake up in the morning and sit around until 3:30 and take my pajamas off, right? Let's get after the day,
Right.
And so my personality leans towards let's do a lot of stuff,
Right, yeah.
but all that stuff wasn't really helping me connect with my wife.
yeah.
That's good.
And then little foxes come in, right? And try to tell lies and, divide you. The devil just is so good about dividing you and telling you lies. And you don't want to believe them. And then, it goes on long enough. And you don't know who to talk to. When you're pastors,
who
you don't know who to talk to.
Yeah.
But we ended up going to Jerry and Karen Kovacs. They were pastors and had been pastors for a long time. And we're like, if anybody, they don't know us. And so if anybody would be helpful, it'd be them because they know ministry struggles. And they were amazing. We literally only had to meet with them 3 times. And we were like right back on track. Like, okay, we can do this. It doesn't mean it wasn't hard for at least a year after that to get back into the groove, but they were amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're going to fight in your marriage. You're going to fight, but let's fight for unity.
Yeah.
Not fight against each other.
Yeah. And isn't marriage worth fighting for?
100%.
Absolutely.
It is so worth it to have to, get your hands dirty and say, no, we're going to get in the mud and we're going to figure this out.
Yeah.
And it's worth it.
It is. And
worth
God
it.
designs that, believe it or not. He's the one that puts these things, he doesn't make bad stuff happen, but he totally allows them because he's like, they need to grow up here. They need to learn this lesson.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And so when God has a hand in it, I guess, you just need to go with what he's trying to teach you.
What I
And figure it
love
out
is
too.
waking up in the morning after nearly 40 years and looking over and saying, I love her more now than I did the day we got married.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
It's just a wonderfully refreshing feeling and secure place to be at in life.
And that's how it should be, and that's what God's goal is, for us to become more and more in love and more like him. So if you stop before you get there, you don't get that fullness.
I get it.
Yeah.
I look at my wife now and I'm like, she's hotter than she was when I first met her.
Cute pink hair and all.
I'll sop her up with a biscuit right now. I'm just like, come on. It's now, one of the things you brought up too, it was one of the things that, Holy Spirit started working on me was this idea of what you just said. Presence is priority.
Yeah.
It shows priority in the relationship. And that was something that I think young couples in general have a hard time understanding what that idea of presence is in their marriage. It's just like, we hang out together, we work together, we sit at the couch together, and we may watch a show or whatever. But that's not presence. Presence
that's
is
proximity.
Proximity, yeah. Engagement, getting engaged in that situation, and like you said, connecting with them on that level. And that's something that we don't talk a lot about. It's almost like you're going to pick it up by osmosis. And I think you mentioned that even on Sunday. You don't learn this stuff by osmosis. Something you have to really intentionally get involved with. Right. And I think that's so important that they hear that, especially in the couples that are struggling, even in our church. They think, well, we've got kids and we've got businesses or we've got success or whatever it is. So the marriage is successful, but at the same time, they keep moving farther apart from each other and they're not connecting anymore. And it is sad. It's sad to think that, in a church, not just our church, but churches in general, so many people that, the divorce rate is just as high as it is in the secular world. And a lot of it is because we just have not done a good job explaining to people, this is what marriage looks like. This is what it's about. And I think as we're talking about this, especially for this series, I think it's going to be good for people to see practical experience that's happening with behind closed doors. And I think that was one of the things that was really powerful for me on Sunday, was that you can see people going, wow, really? Like this is really, what's going on, and I think that was so important.
Lisa Kay and I have literally helped hundreds of marriages throughout our time. And the ones that are, like you're saying, they appear to be successful on the surface, right? They got a house, they got a good family, they're making good money, but they're not in love anymore. Right. And they're just two people sharing the same residence. And that is not what oneness looks like. No. And so it takes some real dedication and help to help them get back to looking at the other person and saying, how can I help them reach what God's called them to, right? Yeah. And to do it together. And that takes a lot of work, but it can be done.
Yep.
They become roommates.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Become roommates,
and they'll describe it that way. We're just roommates.
Right. Just roommates hanging out, doing business. Yeah. And that's sad, because God has so much in store for a marriage that comes together. This idea of this oneness and covenant, when you start really grappling with it, I mean, some of the things that we deal with most in life are the issues of, I don't trust anyone, but God gave me somebody I can trust with my entire heart. And there are some marriages that don't have that. Right. They don't trust their spouse. Yeah. They'll live with them and, whatever else goes along with marriage, but they just don't really trust them. And you hear the conversations and you're like, how is that possible that you have the person that God gave you for that reason to be with you through life? I don't know. You mentioned this story, which I thought was really cute, about the old couple in Burger King. Yeah. You want to share that? I thought it was real good.
I'm going to let Lisa Kay do it because she does it really well.
Okay. So it was actually, Gary deciding whether we are going to be together for the first time, right? Like we were going to get engaged, but he wanted to make sure I was ready for that. But anyway, that's a side story. So he's taking me to Burger King because he's a big spender.
Yeah, he is.
And we're going in and we see this little old couple that are like in their 80s, and the guy gets her car door for her, and he gets the door for her, and they're holding hands on their way in, and he orders for her, and they're just so lovey.
Yeah.
And then they both sit on the same side of the booth, not opposite each other, and they share their fries and they share their Coke. And Gary's like, yep, that's
so cool.
That's what we need our marriage to look like when we get married. So that was the picture we had, and we've shot for that all these years, and here we are.
Yeah, I think the problem is that it's for a lot of young people getting married, that's not modeled. Like, they know that that's the end goal, but that in between, they don't know how to get there. That's Hannah and I's story, without sharing too much, because we're talking about it on Sunday. In a lot of ways, you guys set the stage for us to be able to share our story. Really, this will be a big story that Hannah and I will be talking about, is us being able to finally figure out how to actually be married, right? Because crazy thing.
Yeah.
You can get married and not know how to be married.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Crazy.
I know.
Right? And that's
You can even have the handbook and still not know how to be married.
Yeah, people can even tell you sometimes, and for Hannah and I, it was never modeled.
Yeah.
And not that it was necessarily anybody's fault. People
Right.
just died.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we didn't get to see that. And so then getting married, we just don't know how. We know what the end goal should look like, but we don't know how to get to that point, which is why this series is important and why people should stay out
Right.
through the whole thing.
And I think that mentoring the younger,
Yeah.
the older people teaching the younger people, or having couples come into the church holding hands and showing that love to each other, those are the people you want to hang out with.
Yeah.
Because if you just hang out with people your own age, you're not going to see it, because they have the same struggles you have. And that was part of our problem too. We, at one point, were just only with people our own age. It was when we started hanging out with older people that had a little experience under their belt that we started getting better in our marriage too.
Yeah. And the one thing I said on Sunday, and I've said it multiple times, you don't wait till 79 to show up and be that couple at 80. It's all along the way, which, Hunter, you're alluding to. We teach people that you never stop dating each other,
Yeah.
right? You have to, even if it's only once a month, right? You get away and you let the kids be watched by somebody else. And actually that brings a lot of security to them, because they realize that mom and dad can't be broken or separated,
Right.
and that we aren't the priority, they are. Those are all healthy things, but we need to be able to instruct that and the reason behind it for younger couples. But you gotta stay on course the entire way. You don't get to arrive there at the end and all of a sudden, newsflash, you're one, right? That's not how it happens.
And we talk about a lot of this in pre-marriage counseling. That's why we recommend,
Pre-marriage counseling.
yes, that
Yeah.
people get pre-marriage counseling wherever they are.
Can you unpack that for me, this idea of dating? Because I think when we think about dating, we think about when we were younger, and the whole point was, we're going to get
Some
kiss out of
kisses
this.
on
Yeah,
that.
we're going to get kiss out of this deal. What are we talking about?
Well,
when
that
we say
never goes
dating?
away.
That does not. Yeah. it
So
does
we
not.
were at the resale shop the other day. We do
Yeah.
this all the time.
Yeah.
Not resale shop, but we say what we're doing. So I go up to the counter. I'm like, "Yep, this is our date." And she's looking at me like, "Really? Well, okay, that's cool."
Yeah, like, okay,
or we're at the
weirdo.
grocery store. Well, we're on a date.
Yeah.
Anytime we're together, we're going to be like, you know what? This might be work oriented, or we have to do this, but let's make this fun. Let's
Yeah.
make this a date.
Yeah.
So
we
we
literally
call it a
tell
date.
the nurses at the hospital when we go to visit someone, like,
Oh,
we're on a date.
Oh, they're like,
They're
you're
like,
in the hospital.
That
Like,
is
I'm here
so
for-
awesome.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we're making
And
it a date.
Yep,
Yeah.
and we're
We
going
might
to
get
hold
lunch
hands or
after,
whatever we can. Yep, and yeah, sometimes we'll grab lunch and maybe get some kisses at the end of the whole night. It's awesome, but we try to make everything a date, because even at this point of our life, it's sometimes hard to carve
Right, to
space and
actually
time
schedule
out
it.
to be able to do it. So we're just going to do it as we go along. Every day is going to be a date for us. And what did you do on a date other than try to get in the back seat of the car, right? You did little fun things together, and you laughed about things, and you talked about things, and like you said, when Amy references something for Star Wars, all of a sudden you've got the right one.
Yeah.
For me, when Lisa Kay and I connect on levels like where I'm interested in things that she has an interest in, and I show interest in that, and it just makes a little sparkle in her eye, and vice versa.
Yeah.
And for us to be able to take interest in the other person and what is important to them, and try to mine that out, even if they're like, I'm fine, or whatever, just keep drilling down until you get that communication. We just call that a date.
Yeah.
Right.
It's super fun, because you guys remember spending hours on the phone, or hours in the car
Oh, yeah.
talking, or hours at the restaurant, just talking about the
Nothing. Yeah.
nothing, right?
Right. The weirdest stuff. Yeah.
So we just call those dates.
Yeah, I think you nailed one of the things that I think is so needed in our society today, is the idea of conversation, right? conversation does not seem to happen much anymore between
Right.
couples. It is, we're going to talk about the kids, what they did today, talk about my job, how bad it was, or what a great thing, whatever it is. But it's not about communication and the fact that, you know, how are you feeling? What's going on? The stuff that doesn't always get brought up.
Right.
I think that is so crucial. And, you know, it's amazing though, when you do live life together for a long time, you kind of forget like what that was, what that looks like. And it's so important to get back to that. My wife and I, when we do premarital, we always talk about that section about communication. What does it look like? And it's amazing we have to help people understand what communication looks like.
100%.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, are you serious? Like you've been doing it as you've been dating, but you forget, you know, and then later on they come back to you and they need counseling now because it's not working. And they just forget that they need to talk.
Right.
And it's not about the problems, not about the things that you're facing on a daily basis. It's like, I want to get to know you. One of the things that we've done before, and I'm sure you've done it before, is the stare test. Have you ever done that before?
Where you stare at each other.
You stare at each other for a period of time, just see how uncomfortable you get. And when a person gauges how uncomfortable it is, it means that they have not been doing it very much.
Yeah.
Like it's a telltale sign that you guys are not spending much time together.
Yeah.
And one of the things that happens is that we point out the fact that, well, this is the problem because you're not communicating. If this is uncomfortable for you to just look at each other for, you know, a minute, then there's something else going on. Like you're not having enough communication. And you guys hit it on the head. I mean, the date nights is not about, you know, just kind of like hanging out with each other. It's a time of really talking and getting to know the heart.
Can I give you a little story that Lisa Kay and I, it's session 2 of our pre-marriage counseling. We have the couple sit back to back, and then one person has a new notepad and a pencil. The other person has a phrase I've given them, and they have to sit back to back, and this person has to describe the picture that I've shown, and they have to draw it on this end without being able to see or hear.
Yeah. Right.
It is amazing.
Right. So they can only use shapes
Yeah. You can't
to
say,
describe it.
yeah, you
That
can't
sounds like
say
fun.
It's a communication
Yeah.
drill to see how well they communicate.
It helps you learn how to think what they're seeing, how to be able to put it in a language and directions that they understand, and super powerful.
It is so fun to watch.
We have seen couples that drew a picture that was amazing, and we've seen couples that almost couldn't put a line on the page.
Right. Sure.
Crazy.
So we know that if they can't put a line on the page, this is going to be a struggle area for them, and we've got to help them learn to communicate.
Yeah.
So we give them some tools to help them learn to communicate.
And you guys brought, I mean, it brings up too that people are not listening either, right?
Right.
Yeah. I mean,
Or they don't know
Yeah.
to ask questions, because
Yeah, they
that's
don't-
part
yeah.
of the thing. We don't tell them they could ask questions. We just, you know, this is just an assignment. We're going to watch you. I take notes on what they do. If the person that's drawing asks a question, then they get bonus points because they're like, oh, I didn't, you know.
Yeah.
Most people just sit there and just draw and not ask a question like, well, do you mean at the top of the paper or the bottom of the paper? Because
Right.
they're trying to clarify where to draw. Anyway, it's really cool.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Why-
they're good because they're going to ask some questions.
why do you think there is such a disconnect? What have we done that we have not done well, that we're just not communicating this? I mean, what do we need to do better, you think, as a church?
I think stuff gets in relationships, marriage, stuff gets put into a closet, and like conversations that should have happened, but like, hey, we're supposed to be happily married.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
we just put it away and
just
put
fake
it away
this, yeah.
and put it away. And then eventually you can't keep putting it away because now that closet's full, but you don't want to open it because now all of it's going to come out.
Right. Now you've got
And
a volcano, an
so they don't want to
avalanche.
talk about anything because if I open that door, then it's all of these things that are going to, but you got to open the door.
Right.
Right. If not,
But what you need to do is open the door and grab out one stuffy. Just close the door. Okay,
Sure.
we're going to talk about this one thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good picture.
And and then after you talk about it, then you go on your date because your date's your reward.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you go to dinner.
And that's called fighting fair.
Yep.
Yes.
Right? So fighting fair is saying, hey, I'm not going to pull out everything against
Right.
you. We're going to talk about this one thing and
Right.
fix this one thing. And then let's try to stay away from the other things. Because in an argument, especially if it's like a combative who's going to win argument, it's like, well, this, and you bring out all these indictments against them.
Right.
And there's no win in that, right?
Right.
Lose-lose.
It's
Right, it's
lose-lose.
lose-lose. Yep.
Yep.
Yep. And with Pastor Gary and I both being firstborns, that is something we had to learn. And I grew up in an environment where both my parents lost their dads early, and so and my dad was the baby, and he had two older sisters, and my mom was the baby, but her mom didn't have a husband anymore, so she had to grow up quickly. You know, all that kind of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
And so a little bit of a more mother-dominated life. I grew up in. So I had to learn not to be right all the time. Very hard as the firstborn.
Yeah.
And he wants to be right because he's the firstborn and he's the man, you know. So yeah, it's that, do I want to be right or do I want to have relationship?
Yeah.
So you got to work for a relationship and don't always have to be right.
Yeah. Anytime, as Pastor Hunter just said, if there's a win-lose, you're going to be lose-lose.
Then you lose-lose.
Yeah.
When you communicate, trying to discover what the other person thinks or feels about it, just getting that information, then you're moving towards the win-win.
Yeah.
Right. And and so, when you get ready to do a project like remove the main wall out of the center of your house,
You send your wife to Japan.
That's
so
right,
She doesn't
yeah.
have to watch this.
There you go.
3 weeks I can do anything I want. But the fact is, that we've had multiple long conversations, not just about how we're going to get this done, but how does this make you feel? What do what do you think will happen when this, we need to pick out the carpet and we need to pick out all this stuff. There's lots of communication that we're using it to our advantage right now because it's helping us connect on a deeper level. But I've got to get her feelings on this. I can't just ramrod my plan through, even though I feel very, very passionately and strong about this. It's helping
And I'm not
us.
a risk taker, so I've had to learn to take risks. Oh, so hard.
Yeah.
And so I've let him be the leader. And so if he feels like we can take this risk and he gives me the whole scope, like this is what we're doing, and he explains it really well, then I can trust him. And
let her
because he's had bad past experience of doing it right.
Yeah, and let her ask questions without being offended. That's
Right.
a huge thing for me. That's one of my downfalls, is that if you ask questions, you must not trust me.
Yep.
And I'm trying to make a picture in my mind so I can wrap my mind around what we're doing, but I got to see it in my mind or on paper. I'm better on paper. I love paper. I have a paper addiction.
But it sounds like Pastor Gary he's been in the past. He's come through on the things that he said.
But I had to let him fail too. That was another thing. I had to, and not say, "See, I told you."
Yep.
Right?
Sure.
I had to let him fail, and I had to learn to say, "Well, you know what? Next time, I know you're going to do it differently, and you've got this. It will succeed next time."
Yep.
And then he wants to live to that standard, and then he begins to be successful because the devil didn't win. Right?
Right, yeah.
If the devil won, we're going to keep going around that.
Yeah.
We're going to keep having that happen. But it's work. It's work to get your mind to do that, to say that, to be that, right? But then it starts to become a little bit more natural as you've had practice over 39 plus years, right?
Sure.
That's powerful. My wife knows that I should not be touching tools or hammers, and then she's always my biggest supporter. She's like, try it, see what happens. It wasn't always like that in the beginning. She's like, let me call my dad because he knows how to do it. At some point, she kind of switched over and said, yeah, let's see what you can do with that drill and that hammer. And, there are a lot of fails, trust me.
Yep.
Things don't always look straight and they're a little crooked, but, it's just that transition, which is so empowering because as a man, it's like, I need to hear that. I need to hear the fact that I can support and provide and take care of my family. And, we tend to have a very critical society, and it seems like there are a lot of women that come into marriage with expectations that are far beyond the spouse that they've married. And then they're like, why can't he ever meet why can't he be like my parents? Why can't he be like my dad? Why can't he be like my grandfather? And the truth is he's not, he's the guy you married.
Because they've had a lot more years of practice, right?
Yeah.
We are such an instant society. We think we have to have a house the minute we're married. We have to have to be just like those people. Well, they've been practicing for 40 years and had all the trials. You're just seeing the end result of that.
Yeah.
And you don't know what you're doing.
You don't.
Yeah.
You don't.
That's okay that you don't. You're going to figure it out.
Yep.
You're going to make it happen. All right. So, Pastor Hunter, you're going to be doing the service with Hannah.
Yes.
Next Sunday, which is going to be exciting.
So excited.
So we have your interview with Mandy, which it's going to be good.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Yeah, you want me to talk about it slightly?
Yeah, go ahead. Just give us a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Well, you should definitely come because if you've ever wanted to hear about people's private business without it being gossip, this is your moment.
Yeah,
because it's coming.
There you go.
It's coming right from us.
It's underwritten by your emotions and pain.
Yeah, gotta be said, right? So, listen, when Hannah and I got married, I wasn't ready to be married.
Yeah,
and I was still a boy and learning how to be a man.
Yeah,
and child.
Yep. And I was just missing it.
Yeah.
And I just missed it for a long time and created a lot of excuses for why I was missing it. And so I wanted everything to be external when the reality was it was all internal.
Oh, that's good.
And I had to change. And I had to become – I'd figured out – I didn't know what I was doing.
Yeah.
And it took us a long time to eventually we fought – Hannah and I tried to just keep the knot together by making a rat's nest of –
Yeah.
hey, it's not coming apart.
Yeah.
So it's good. But you can't tighten the knot until you untangle it. So now we got to the root of it.
Yeah.
And kudos to Hannah because she's the one that made that happen.
Awesome.
Right? She never gave up on me.
Can I jump in? And just you described something very beautiful right there. You know, this rat's nest knot can't be tightened, right? It's just a knot.
Yep.
Okay, that's beautiful. Look back at what we talked about on Sunday. Adam got his career before he got his wife. There's probably some wisdom that a lot of men probably should get some stuff figured out first before they jump into a relationship.
Yeah, good point.
Yeah.
You can get married young, but it's going to come with some unique challenges.
Yep.
Yeah, very good.
And you need some strong mentors in your life if you're going to.
Yeah. And that's why the church is here.
Yeah.
There's a term in the Bible that's used often, discipleship. You know, maybe we need to start doing that more as married couples, discipling the next generation so they understand what it looks like.
Yeah.
Can't just hand them the Bible and say, read this, it's going to give you all the answers without having somebody mirror that in their own life. Yeah. Well, we'll be back probably in a couple weeks. So take a listen to some of the older podcasts and enjoy them.
Can we, when you get back, can we get Hannah and Hunter to come in?
I think we should.
I think it's going to be so rich that I don't want to miss out on the
Would
opportunity.
she come in? If we bribed her?
If you bribe her, yeah.
Then give me a list.
Bribery is a good move.
I think they need you to babysit their children so that they can go on a date.
We would love to do that.
Hey, that's great.
We would love to do that.
I like the way Lisa K's thinking.
Amy's in grandma mode right now anyway.
perfect.
So, shoot.
Perfect.
You just, all you got to do is say it.
Yeah, okay.
she's there.
And just remind Hannah, if you're on the platform, you're on the podcast. That's the way it is.
Oh, yeah.
That is
I'm sorry,
that is the
Hannah.
policy.
Tell her it's a rule.
Yeah. So
It is a rule that
and she is a rule follower.
Yes.
Right. To a T.
It is a rule.
Yeah.
So she needs to be here. All right. Well, we'll be back in a little while. And we'll come back with the next interview with Hannah and Hunter. And it'll be good. I think it'll be good.
Yeah.
Good podcast. All right. We'll talk to you later.
You have found us. More podcast, where we want you to know God more deeply. Find lasting freedom, discover your destiny and make an eternal difference. Now,